It's loading. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm your host, Sharique Javaid from German city of Munich. And with me is our guest from London, Sudeshna. Hi, Sudeshna.
Hi, Sharique. Thanks for having me.
Good. Thank you for being
So,
my guest. So,
yeah.
dear viewers, as we all know that it's time for because of this coronavirus, there is a lot of negativity around. People are in home, working from home, but it also gives us chance to find something positive, utilize this time in something positive. So today we will talk about these possibilities, how we can utilize this time in a positive way. So first of all, I will hand the session to Sudeshna. She will introduce herself.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sharique. So, guys, basically, I am a career strategist, but I also have a real life day job in the corporate sector. And what happened is a couple of years back, I went through moving continents. Well, I say couple of years, about 5, 6 years back now, I moved continents. I moved to London from India. And I went through a lot in terms of fitting in culturally. And I guess after tremendous searching, I realized that I actually really liked the corporate world, but the language of love that I had with it was slightly amiss. And these days, whenever I talk to my clients, I speak from that experience as an expert, as a minority in London. And of course, I'm a female in tech, in banking, in consulting, which are typically very, very male dominated industries. And being in London, it's typically very white male dominated. And I guess from that experience, I have learned a lot. And there was, to be fair to say, quite a lot of negativity that I was going through. But I learned to somehow navigate it and take out the positives. And that's what I try and teach my mentees, my students, and everyone around me, really. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. So as you might have heard that, so Sudeshna is working in London since 5 years. So it was a challenge to adapt in the new life. So whenever we come in a new country, our first goal is to get settled down, and we just do try all the means to just settle in. But somehow, to settling in a new place, we tend to forget our skills.
Mm,
And once we start a job, sometimes it's not matching to our strengths. Uh, then we just get so much busy in that daily life, like going to work, then family, then we forget about our strengths. So how can we utilize this time these days to find out our strengths and then work in that direction?
So exactly, Sharik. I think that's what has happened even in this pandemic situation as well. What we initially kind of approach it with is a bit of denial. No, this hasn't happened. Oh no, I can carry on being my old self. I heard Boris Johnson's dad said, "Oh, I'll still keep going to the pub." And I'm like, are you sure? That's
Yeah.
not very bright right now. But so it's generally that sense of denial. No, this can't be happening. So that's I think stage one. I think we are a lot beyond stage one now. And then the stage two is panic. Tissue papers, toilet rolls start vanishing out of supermarket shelves. And guys, honestly, there's something better than toilet rolls on this planet. I don't know why people have been obsessing about toilet rolls, honestly. But that's the sense of panic, and people kind of are like, oh my god, this is really happening, and we'll never get to meet our friends again. We need like 50 kgs of rice and 20 kgs of pasta. It's kind of goes through a whole negative sort of mentality. And then I think the third stage is where things start becoming a lot more smooth. and we start accepting, okay, this is the reality, at least for now, for the foreseeable future. How long, we don't really know. And I think what really arises out of that is, you could either be status quo, I just carry on with however this goes and see where the life flows and takes me. Or the second bit, be
Yeah,
really intentional about what it is that you want to achieve. Go back to, say, what is it that I'm passionate about? What is it that I wanted to do if I had like these 30 days? I have no distractions at all. I have all the time in the world. Well, of course, the guys with children also realize that, well, that there's far more distraction. But then, almost saying, I'll be wholly present with my children if that's what you wanted to do, and get really creative about things. Say, for example, you like wildlife photography. For example, I use this example because that almost shows us wildlife photography is nice to be passionate about, but what are the underlying things that are kind of getting in there? It's about, okay, I like creativity, I like creating, I like nature, I like um you know, just thinking through imagery.
yeah,
And without actually being a wildlife photographer, you can bring those skills back into life through
yeah,
just, I don't know, sketching, or um, like something like these lives that we have been doing. We have been doing a lot of lives, I think, with this season, that's putting us back into the society. So I think there are um, so this is like the time to get really creative with the ideas that you have.
yeah,
It's not only creativity in photography or creativity with
yeah. So, Sudeshna, I think there are new viewers at the moment, and we will try to update them about the topic. So,
yeah,
hi all.
sure.
So, those who have joined us now. So, today we have live with us Sudeshna from London, UK. And the topic here today is that we have passed through this first stage of panic of coronavirus, and now we realize, okay, it will take some time. It's before things get settled again and everything gets normal. Maybe it takes 2 more months, 3 more months. We don't know. But then there are two ways to go through this stage. One thing is just panicking and wasting our time, and second is, okay, we have to be careful. We have to stay indoors. But then we have got a pause, a break, which we have never got before in life, and we can use it very positively. We can think about our personalities, our relationships, our career goals, and rethink about it, and rethink about our strengths and weaknesses, which we have forgotten in our daily lives. Sudeshna is trying to explain about these phases, and
Yeah.
now she already explained that there was a first phase of denial, that what has happened, we cannot believe it, and then came the panic phase, and then in which we said, okay, people are getting crazy about stocking food because then maybe it's the end of the world or something is happening, and then came the third phase. Okay, we accept it, something has happened,
Mm.
now we accept it and we try to rebuild on it. So,
Yeah.
Sudeshna, please continue on this.
Yeah. So exactly. Thanks for that recap, Sharik. Exactly that. Like, for the stage four, therefore, you can have a stage 4A almost, where you just go with the flow and continue as it is, and whenever life comes back to normal, you go back to life as if this never happened, right? Or the approach B is, you reflect on yourself, you see what you really are passionate about, what it is about your life that you wanted to change but couldn't change. And this is the perfect opportunity to make use of the time, set up new routines, build in new habits that you can actually carry forward in the life post COVID, right? So, this is, I mean, I almost think that this is a god given opportunity for us to pause and think and reflect on who is it that we want to be for this world, who is it that the world needs us to be, and carry on that feeling of mindfulness almost through your day to day post covid. How do you do that? Of course, that's the hard part, right? Like, uh, you have to get really creative about things. If you know that this is your passion, that's great, and it's achievable being inside the four walls, that's great. But if you don't know what you are passionate about, like there are tons of people, they are like, oh my god, I like this also and that also and that also. Me, for example, I was one of those people. um, and then there are some people who just would say, well, I don't really, um, well, I'm passionate about nothing. But actually have a think back. Maybe passionate about nothing means, okay, maybe you are passionate about, what I realized is, maybe I'm passionate about spirituality, which actually needs nothing to focus on other than just go really deep down and hold on to that stillness, within you. um,
Yeah.
so so I guess from all of that, if you get really creative and find an idea, then comes the productivity part, actually putting all of these good ideas that you have into practice, get into a routine of showing up and delivering value to yourself, to your children, to the world, whoever your chosen audience is. um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think, the productivity bit is interesting, and that's a whole different topic in itself, but
Yes.
we can touch upon that.
Yes, no, that's so now we have this time where we can find out about ideas. So it can be different for different age groups and with different family status. People with kids can have different kind of productivity ideas together with kids. People who are single with different age groups, everybody can have different ideas. So first of all, again to our viewers who have joined us now, today we have Sudeshna, our guest from London, and we are talking about this lockdown time when we have some time in our lives where we can reflect on our strengths and try to find something new and new skills which we can learn and build upon in these times. And as Sudeshna will be giving her ideas, we will request our viewers to also in the comments give their ideas how you think you can be creative, what new skill you can learn, or what you want to hear from Sudeshna. So just feel free to write your comments, and we will be reading the comments. We will be displaying on the screen, and Sudeshna will also try to answer. And later on, also we will try to get some answers on that. Yes, Sudeshna, please carry on.
Yeah, so actually that's really interesting, about what sort of ideas. Let's probably brainstorm for a bit what sort of things we can, um, create out of this madness, yet I think a place of stillness. um, Few of the things that I have, seen being done is people are taking, for example, my friends in the UK, they are taking Spanish lessons. Does it matter? Probably no. It's a hobby project, yes, probably, but it's a nice to have. Other people are doing, salsa classes virtually, so that's great. Um, my husband's been, doing some courses on Udemy. Uh, I have personally been, trying to record and show up as much as possible. I'm working a lot on my, um, business now that there's some time out of work. Well, not a lot, but yeah, some time out of work. Um, I know my fellow mums group, they are creating toys, for the babies. So we have, 5 and 6 months olds. So they are really, uh, n- getting creative with, coloring pastas and putting them
Yeah.
into freezer bags or Ziploc bags, putting rice into a plastic, can or something and making rattles out of it. So things are really interesting and creative right now. And uh, yeah, just I saw someone mention Udemy is really cheap and good courses. That's yeah, online education is becoming so much more valuable right now with this passing age, I think. So yeah.
Yes, and our friend Jamal is writing that I'm spending a lot of time with kids, and I understand how important it is. These
Yeah,
moments never come back in life. Yeah, so these
exactly.
days we have some uh, that we never get to spend so much time with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really precious that we are getting to spend time and be present instead of, oh my god, I have to run to work. What if home office is not allowing enough time? Well, it depends.
So
You have
Junaid
to
does
be
not get.
really
Junaid
focused.
has a lot of work at home office, so he's not getting free time. So maybe he can be creative enough to sleep longer or work in bits, and in between find some time for jogging in daytime, which normally he don't. But
Yeah.
what do you think about this? About what can he do in this situation?
So I think my challenge to Junaid would be get really creative about how to um, optimize whatever you have to do. Like just try taking out 10 minutes out of work and work less, but doesn't mean deliver less value, right? Work less, but just work faster is kind of a statement that doesn't apply to our work anymore. We are not post industrial revolution workers, but you know what I mean. Just try and optimize your work, be more productive, be more focused when you are with it. Try taking out 10 minutes and do something else. um so it's literally bringing the best version of yourself whenever you are with work. So when you are at work, just be focused on work. In fact, my next blog post on dealing with negative emotions, I think, uh, I have a post on how to get shit done, secrets of the productive people. So that's quite an interesting read in terms of how the most productive people in the world actually find time for not only their work but also are completely present with their family when they are, uh, and they go for a jog in the morning or in the evening. I do not recommend, or everyone has to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, go running from 5:20 to 5:25, and then have their protein shake at 5:26. Like, no, that doesn't work. You have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
So,
So there's another interesting question. First of all, maybe there are some new viewers. We will try to say hello, everyone. So with me today is Sudeshna from London, and we are talking about utilizing this time of lockdown when people are in panic mode. But we should try to accept it. It's there, and try to utilize this time to learn something new, be productive, learn new skills. And there are in comments our viewers are giving very interesting ideas. For example, now Kamran has written that, yeah, so it's also YouTube is full of ideas. Everyone being home have a valuable time to learn some skills and go with that. So now there are many good online sources also. So what do you think, Sudesh?
I think it's fantastic. Personally, I am a huge fan of online courses. Um, like not only Udemy, I have literally taken so many online courses and spent so much money on them that at times I'm like, am I crazy? But then actually, I have learned so much from the online courses. And what the online courses give you, I think, is a certain focus in terms of what it is that you are wanting to achieve. Could you learn them through YouTube or random Googling? Sure, you could. Absolutely, you could. But the moment someone else has thought about it in the form of a course for you, it has the focus, it has the intention. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we are human beings. We think in terms of money. And the moment we spend money, we know that we have put our intentions behind it. And we know that we have put our focus
Yeah,
behind
so
it.
that's also good.
So,
True,
so,
true.
so those are my thoughts on online courses, I think.
Actually, so in this session, actually, we are trying to motivate everyone. Okay, we have time, we have to utilize it properly. So once the motivation is there, people will find their ways. There are a lot of ways, but first of all, it's important to get motivated, utilize this time in a good way. So our another re- active member here, Sania, has a question, or rather a suggestion, that people can try their hand at art. They maybe write a book which you always wanted to write, maybe learn a new language, connect to short courses online, gardening, cooking, and things with kids. A lot of a lot of ideas she has
Yeah,
given. What's your
very,
take on
very
that?
good ideas. Try your hand at writing a book. Great, I love it because so most of us have something unique about ourselves that we want to share, and the world would actually be benefited if we shared that. And in fact, a couple of days back, I was recording with this lady who's a psychologist, and she helps authors um, write and get them published. So I think this is a fantastic time to do that if you are interested. But you could say that I'm not much of a writer, but think, get really creative, right? You can maybe paint, or you can maybe do a podcast. It doesn't always need to be write a book. Learn a new language, love it, absolutely love it. Be in touch with God. I like this comes right from my
No, no,
heart,
no. So
and
it was
this is,
sure, so everyone has their spiritual the
yeah,
time they can utilize. For religious people also, they can utilize this time in a very nice way to get spiritually connected to God. There are options of short online courses. We have already talked about that. Udemy is one of them, but there are many, many, many ways.
yeah,
And yeah, and then of course gardening. If people are lucky to have a big house, then yes. Otherwise, maybe might be tough for people living in apartments.
yeah, yeah,
Cooking
yeah.
with kids.
Cooking with
That's
kids, exercising with kids. I mean, what better time than now to get them into that habit of exercising, right? Like, you exercise with them and you show them that this is important, rather than this is like just the secondary thing that you need to do. First is something else. So
yeah.
yeah, I love
So
it.
another interesting thing is that somebody was asking that is it okay to go outside because I'm does
Oh,
not allowed to do yet, as far as in for example, it's getting tough now. For example, in Italy, it's totally not allowed anymore to go outside without a purpose. You need to take a paper that where are you going. So now, so maybe going outside for jogging, it's slowly getting banned for the moment. Yeah,
yeah,
but maybe going out when you are going for shopping, you can go by walk, get some walk instead of just going by car. Uh, this can be an option.
yeah.
Um,
It really depends on where in the world you are, right?
there are some fun ideas also, maybe so about family life. People can improve the relationships.
Yeah,
So our
absolutely.
very very motivated friend is Bilal. He's writing, everyone is looking for free content. We should also invest in ourselves, and buying online courses is a great way to do that. One can also do a micro master and try a new job to fight the job crisis. There is no such thing as free content. Excellent, very excellent. What do you say on that? I think you already talked about it also, that once we spend some money, then also we are serious about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can, if you have the laser sharp focus knowing what it is that you want to achieve, there is free content. But remember, it's the laser sharp focus. How many of us really have that? Like, it it really takes it really takes years and years of practice to develop focus like that. And if you have it, yeah, sure, you can uh, put in the time to research up free content. But then again, free is, you pay in terms of time, you pay with time rather than money. So is it really free? That's my question. So yeah, I would agree in terms of there is no such thing as a free content, because if I'm paying with time, it's actually as much to waste or lose, if not more, because time is more valuable, I think.
Yeah. So Sani again has a very, very good suggestion. Maybe also a good time to give a call to all those people you haven't had a call,
Yeah.
had time to call since long. Check on one another, show your care. They will be delighted to hear from you. Yes,
Yeah.
excellent suggestion. What do you say on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think these days we have been getting on to family WhatsApp calls and um, house party and so on. So I think, yes, definitely lovely time to do that. And also shows you what matters again. If you haven't been calling someone through this time, are you not calling them because they are not important, or are you still struggling for time? Because time, excuse of time is starting to fall apart with this. So just be very, very intentional, I think.
Yeah, but this is also, a part of life. So this is also our family, friends. They are also part of our, life, and we have somehow forgotten them. And this
Yeah.
is also this can be a way to recall our relationships. And also it's about second part is to check on one another. For example, yesterday a situation occurred in my neighborhood, and there was a help. And for example, there are old ladies, and then these there are social workers. They are coming to help deliver some food, but then they said now we are not allowed to go to enter the homes of old people anymore, and I will
Mm,
not be coming. So next 2 3 weeks you will not be getting any support. This I offered that, okay, every 3 days, after every 3 days I will check on you, and if you need any grocery I will buy for you. So this is also
yeah,
very important
yeah,
in this
yeah, yeah,
phase,
yeah.
that we can build the communities around us,
Absolutely, absolutely.
and
Yeah.
humanity is the biggest community.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, like, what are your priorities? Like, if you say that your priorities are making money over looking after community, then, well, those are your priorities. I'm not going to judge you, but it is really important to come together in, especially during these times. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Anzik is writing that online learning is a booming market projected to reach $240 billion industry by 2023. So there's a lot of money to make for anyone who wants to learn, and great thing, you can spend your time in this situation. You can learn and earn many things you can do. So you want to give your feedback on that,
I think
like
that's spot on. Like, people who,
learning. Yeah,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, no, I think people who recognized that online learning is a massive industry in itself early on, they are already probably millionaires. And um, if you have a skill to share, most of us have a skill to share, and it doesn't always need to be a form of a full on e-course hosted in a fancy snazzy platform. It could even be, Sharik, tomorrow you could say, you could probably tell your wife or your mom to come and cook on the show, and say,
Yeah,
okay, that'll be $50. You want to learn how to cook authentic curry, right? And you just add a PayPal button, see where it takes you. And
yeah.
it's literally things like that. People want to learn how to do things as well. So it doesn't always need to be very fancy or very snazzy. You can just start wherever you are.
Yeah, so we have a lot of ideas coming from our viewers.
Digital
Digital housekeeping
housekeeping. Yeah, I
time.
love it. I love it. Uh, well, I love it because I'm so guilty of not digital housekeeping at all, and I pay too much money to the cloud providers. But yeah,
Hmm,
that
that's
is
interesting.
that is definitely something that I have to do. Yeah.
Okay, once again, for all the viewers who have joined now, so I'm your host, Sharique Javaid from Munich, Germany, and with me is Sudeshna from London. And today we are talking about this phase that, because of the lockdown, because of this pandemic situation, and social distancing, we are staying at home, but we can utilize this time in a very very positive way, in a creative way. So we are gathering ideas, and we are talking about new things, and also we are trying to say that, okay, we have got a pause from our daily lives, we can rethink about our personalities, our strong points, our relationships, our strengths, which we have forgotten in our daily busy routine life. And so Deshna is giving us tips on that. So
Yeah.
Sudeshna, and we will also ask our viewers to please write your intelligent and nice ideas, but also your crazy ideas, anything you want, because this is brainstorming session. We will try to analyze these ideas. Maybe even if you just write an idea, maybe somebody else likes it and starts implementing it.
Yeah. Nature is back in that lockdown. I wonder what Muzammal means.
So,
But
so there are also like a lot of videos around that, you know, in a lot of parks and everywhere where they were always crowded by people. Now there are animals roaming around. You know,
yeah,
everything is looking more peaceful. Cloud. There are also reports that the environment is getting
yeah,
cleaner. There is less population. Sorry,
yeah,
less
that's
pollution.
pollution. Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is what he means.
Yeah, yeah, I saw this video of peacocks dancing on the streets of Madrid. Well, not dancing, I lie. But basically, like around five or six peacocks on the streets of Madrid. Like I can see the houses and I can see peacocks, and I'm like, oh my God, that just made my day. So, yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Humans are
Yeah.
imprisoned by nature.
So we will go back to the topic. So Deshna, you were telling about your blog. So what?
Yeah.
So normally you're working in a big company. Can you share more details? And now you mentioned that this overwhelming or abundance of energy. What? Tell us
Yes.
about this
Yes,
concept.
yes. So, you know what? I started my career working in Deloitte, and then when I moved to London, I worked with Booz and Co. And Booz and Co. was then being acquired by PwC. So, uh, strategy and as we call it. So I come from a very, very consulting, management and strategy consulting sort of a background. Currently, I head up a data science team in another slightly smaller organization. But I also parallelly run this blog, and I also have some mentees and clients who I teach this concept of abundance. And I teach it in terms of only looking at their careers. But what I mean by it is that, about 5 to 6 years back when I came to London, my first couple of projects, just because of the nature of cultural shifts and different sort of work, I was going through this crisis myself. And then suddenly, after, well, I shouldn't say suddenly, it took a lot of work. I paid for way too many courses. I went to meditation classes, and there was a lot that went on into this. But then I kind of discovered this place of abundance within myself, a place of stillness and abundance, whereby I started realizing that if I approach everything with this mindset that I have no fear of failure, I have no fear of being judged. I can just come out and talk to anyone. Like 5 years ago, me being live on Facebook, no, no chance that would have happened.
Hmm.
But today, I'm like, what do I have to lose? At worst, some people think oh well, this girl's crazy, she's she's a bit silly, but so what? I don't care. I So when you kind of let go of that fear of failure, you discover that abundance, you kind of start approaching everything with that sort of a mentality, and you can literally turn, like it's the Midas touch. You can literally touch things and they become gold because you have gotten rid of the fear. You are kind of approaching it with, yeah, this will be great irrespective of whatever it is, whatever comes out of it.
Yeah, so this is also an interesting concept. So you are saying that you are busy with your daily life, daily routine, but because you had to get utilized, or in the new routine adjust, you had to adjust in the new routine, and but after some time you realized it is getting boring, it's not what I'm actually, and my real strengths and my real the strengths and skills or talents are in something else, and I need to start to analyze them and utilize them, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes. So right now, I think what we do have an abundance of is time. How often in our current life do we have an abundance of time? So if
Normally
we
never.
have, exactly. So this is a golden opportunity, I think, for us to reflect on the things that we care about, we want to take forward in life, we do not want to take forward in life. So there you will find that probably there's this entry in your calendar where you say, okay, 5:30 to 6 a.m. in the morning I go jogging, and you have never really gotten jogging 5:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm not saying you, I would have never done that. So maybe it's time to get rid of that from your diary and think about, why is it that I have not gone jogging, and can I do something else about it? So get really intentional, get really pointed about what it is that you want to achieve. Maybe actually uh, uh, the blog post that I did on the productivity, the secrets of productive people, honestly, that's whatever is in there, it's gold. Like I have paid so much money to just learn all of that is um, amazing. And what I learned out of it, like I do not for a second regret paying all that money, because
Mhm.
I just learned so much, and I kind of learned how to control my mind, control my focus and attention. So this is like really great time to get you jump started on that journey. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So for the viewers who joined now, uh, we are actually ending towards the last part of our session. I'm hosting from German city of Munich, and with me is Sudeshna. Sudeshna is from London, and today we were discussing that this time of pandemic, this and people are at home, instead of just getting worried and putting it on our heads, we can utilize this time in something positive. We can brainstorm new ideas, we can try to find the strengths, our strengths, and utilize this time in a very positive way. And also, to be very frank, once this pandemic or this situation will be over quickly, hopefully, so the world economy will be at a different level. So the world has been changed, and there might be more competition, actually, to be very frank. So this time is very important for all those people, regardless of which profession you have, and you have a chance to develop your skills. There are many online courses available. There are a lot of, you can buy some books. There are YouTube lectures. Everything is available, but this time you have to utilize. It's very, very important, and rightly, time is money, because once this everything is over, already many companies have laid off their employees, so everybody will be looking for new jobs, or many of them. So we can utilize this time to develop our skills, or maybe refresh our skills which we already had.
Actually, on that, Sharik, I actually am running a webinar this Monday. For anyone who's interested, feel free to join. I can share the link with Sharik. I think it's Monday, 5 o'clock, or uh, Hang
So
on,
you can share
yeah.
in the comment section later on.
Yeah, I can tell you about that. So I'm running this free career webinar just to we'll probably touch upon how to create a recession proof resume or CV, how to approach networking during this period of um, anticipated recession that we are going into. I won't say recession or no recession. It's for far more smarter people to decide on that, I think. But I think we are approaching it, given that there's so much panic in the system right now. But even with this going on, we will definitely see top performers getting those big jobs, getting those high salaries, right? So ideally we want to be one of them. And Monday, I think I'm discussing quite a few of those topics and touching upon those. So if you are interested, I'll leave the link.
Link,
uh,
yeah,
with-
sure. So Deshna will leave the link. So one thing is for sure, we have to utilize this time very efficiently and develop our skills. But on the other hand, we also discussed that we can utilize this time for connecting again to our loved ones, our friends we had forgotten over the time, build more relationships with our family, friends, and for new hobbies, we can find new hobbies because all the kids, they love football, they love everything, but nowadays they cannot play football, for example. People cannot do outdoor sports, so indoor we can find some new sports. And our in the comments, our users gave a lot of nice tips also. So what I will ask the users that we might end the session in 10 minutes. So you write your ideas what we can do in the next few days. Maybe your idea, which is your dream, and you are not, you don't have time to do, but maybe some other viewers can do it. So
yeah.
kindly share your ideas, and we will discuss about that, analyze it, and try to give further develop that idea. So yes, so over to Sudeshna, and then I will write. So in the comments, Sudeshna already gave the link. I'm just copying it.
Yeah.
So there will be a live career webinar in 2 days.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. So anyways, so we were discussing about different ideas, and then if we look at the very nice ideas from our members. They gave some nice ideas. For example, um, uh, we can try out things which seemed only a dream before because of storage of time. So now we have time with things we'd only dreamed of. Yeah, new hobbies, new things we could learn. You know, um, and then Jamal was saying that this Corona, we don't know when it is ending, but it has teached us a lot of new things.
Yeah.
And then it came up that
Yeah.
one of a very good source is udemy.com. It has around lectures worth 10 euros actually, and they are really, really good lectures for technical, technical to non-technical. It has almost everything actually.
Mm.
Uh,
Udemy, Coursera, excellent.
and then we got calls from the parents when they were never used to spend so much time with their kids every day at home. The kids were getting nervous because the home was like a prison for them in the beginning, because whole day at home, not going out. But now slowly they are trying to find new hobbies. In the beginning, then they want to use the television all the time, view the television, but slowly people are coming up with ideas. So it's the phase of acceptance. So we talked about, so Deshna talked about different phases when a pandemic or this kind of a panic situation occurs. So can you summarize these phases again for our audience?
Yes, yes. So the first phase is denial. We think that, oh no, this is not happening. This only happened in Wuhan in China, and it's not going to happen in Italy. And then we saw what happened, right? So the second phase is panic, when people realize, no, this is actually real, and we have to stockpile stuff and get food, and supermarkets are out of everything. The third phase is acceptance, where we start realizing, okay, this is how the world will be for the next few weeks or months. And then in the
Mm.
fourth phase, that's where I say things get really interesting. Is phase one, like fourth phase, stage A, could be, well, I'll just carry on with my life how it was and go back to however it will be in the next few weeks or months whenever this ends. Or option B is when you actually be really, really intentional about, this is what I want to take forward in life, this is what I do not want to take forward in life. This is a golden opportunity to look at your life and think what it is that you want to focus on. And then the fifth stage is get into action, act on whatever you have decided it is that you want to take forward. And then the next post that I shared about productivity, you can literally use that to get as many ideas into fruition as possible, get into that action, and yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
we all become a better version of ourselves,
Yeah.
version 2.0, 3.0, whatever.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sudeshna, and thank you very much, all the viewers. So we are. So the purpose of this session was to motivate all of you and to motivate ourselves also. That okay, it's a wonderful opportunity. It's of course sad that there is death going around, but it's also a wonderful opportunity to make use of this time in a positive way. And we try to motivate each other, and we hope that after this session, me, myself, and all the viewers, we will try to figure out what we want to do and then find a way to really get started and do it.
Yeah,
Last
actually,
word, Sudeshna.
send me an email with your ideas about what you want to do. My email is theabundancepsyche@gmail.com. So just send me an email. I'll be very happy to hear what these ideas are, and maybe we can make something out of that as well if you want. So, yeah. And thank you so much, Sharik, for having me.
Yeah, so I think that's it. So I'm just writing the email address, and then so here is the I'm typing the, just check it if it's correct. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm writing the email address, and
yes,
then we will end this session.
yes. That's it.
Theabundancepsyche@gmail.com. So guys, you can connect to Sudeshna directly also. Uh, so that's it for today. Uh, Thank you very much, everyone. And before I sign out, I just want to tell that tomorrow at 6 p.m. in German time, we will have our guest Don from Washington, and we will talk about almost the similar topic, but in a different way. So don't forget to like my channel and come back tomorrow, 6 p.m. We will have Dawn. She is also very talented. Surprise till tomorrow from Washington. She will join us. So thank you very much, Sudeshna, for your time,
Yeah.
and we wish you all the best for your future. And let's stay in touch.
Yeah, thanks, Sharik. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Okay,
So
bye.
thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.